Hi everyone, alongside Mike Trossel, I'm Dave Giancola, and thanks again as we take another drive down the road to stardom. Morgan Pressel arrived at the 2005 U.S. Women's Amateur, already a household name. That's right, and it's a rarity for most 17-year-old amateur golfers to be a household name, but that's what you get when you nearly win the most prestigious women's golf championship in the world. People just remember you.
Well, Pressel was tied for the 54-hole lead in the 2005 U.S. Women's Open and was still tied atop the leaderboard as she walked up the 18th fairway until Birdie Kim's miraculous bunker holeout stole the title. Still, the runner-up finish had Pressel brimming with confidence when she arrived at Angley Golf Club a month later.
It was an incredible finish at that Women's Open, but Pressel showed up to the amateur focused and determined, and she showed off a brilliant all-around game and capped her run to the title with a resounding 9-8 victory in the championship match. It was incredible. Let's take a look at Morgan Pressel's dominant 2005 showing.
The national championship season continues. The Golf Channel proudly presents a national championship conducted by the United States Golf Association. From Ansley Golf Club in Roswell, Georgia, it's the championship match of the 105th U.S. Women's Amateur.
We are in the beautiful suburbs of northern Atlanta, and it has been a wonderful week of truly championship golf as the best in women's golf have gathered to determine yet another national championship. Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Melnick along with Dottie Pepper. And Dottie, it is a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to share with everyone what a wonderful week of golf we've seen.
Oh, it certainly has. From Monday morning, the golf has been, I think, exceptional in every way, and we have two fantastic finalists to share Sunday with.
On paper, you would think, given the experience of Morgan Pressel, given the fact that Maru Martinez, her opponent, might not have the credentials, it's almost a David versus Goliath, but Maru Martinez is a competitor to be reckoned with.
Yeah, this little David is a second-team All-American with some great history in this championship itself, being a 2002 semifinalist and knocked one Michelle Wie out in the first round in 2003 at Philadelphia Country Club.
But her opponent, runner-up in the U.S. Women's Open, be tough to handle.
Well, she comes in here as the #1 ranked junior and amateur woman player in the country. As you said, a terrific Women's Open, comes off an 11-shot win last year at an AJGA major.
Well, we are thrilled to have with us two former amateur champions in their own right. This is Kay Cockrell, a winner in '86 and '87 of the U.S. Women's Amateur Championship. And let's go down to Kay for her comments as she'll be covering Morgan Pressel today. Kay?
Well, I can relate to that David and Goliath theme. When I was trying to win my first U.S. Amateur Championship, I was going against Kathleen McCarthy, who was a standout player at Stanford. She was a true power hitter, and I knew that I could not try to compete against her lengthwise. What I had to do was believe in myself and my ability that got me to that final championship, and really trust my putting, which was really hot that week, and know that that's where I had to do my damage, get her on the greens.
And also in this championship match will be another two-time amateur victor. In 1989 at Pinehurst and 92 at Kemper Lakes, Vicki Getz Ackerman, a two-time amateur champion, and she'll be with Maru Martinez. Vicki?
Yes, Maru has a similar game to mine, is that she hits it a little bit shorter than her competitor, so she's going to really have to rely on maybe sticking it close today and her short game. And if she can do that, I think she can put a lot of pressure on Morgan Pressel.
Well, the table has been set, and we look forward to this championship. David Fay will be with us, the executive director of the USGA, should we have any problems with rules. So it is the championship match of the 105th playing of the U.S. Women's Amateur. We're at Setting Down Creek Course in North Atlanta. Welcome back to the afternoon matches here at the second hole. Maru Martinez 5 down, her second at the second. And she needs a few of those right now.
She does. Tough start this afternoon.
And now Pressel, her second.
From just 84 yards, a little wedge. She's been so good with the wedges all week.
Nothing any different.
Well, the 18-hole match began this morning, the first of two 18 holes. This was Pressel for par at the first.
Maru Martinez continuing to struggle with that opening hole.
So one up going to three. A very difficult par four, and this second shot, Dottie.
Just can't conceive how hard this hole is until you've gone out there and faced that second shot.
Now here at the fifth, Martinez for par, she would win the hole. Now she's just one down as they go to the seventh, the par three.
Terrific short par three here with the hole cut in the back left.
And we'll make that cut to birdie. The match is all square now, going to the eighth. And the difficult par four, not made so difficult here.
Morgan's making this entire week look fairly easy.
Yet another laser-like iron shot here. Now this is Martinez for birdie.
Cutting up over this rise. Morgan, job may not be finished.
Pressel did make the putt to tire. Now here at the ninth, the par four, her second.
Just a 7-iron into this long hole. Again, making it look awfully easy.
She would go on to make that putt, and here we are out at the second. Martinez for birdie.
Yeah, she has a short birdie opportunity. Just needs to get back on track here. Just kind of let things slip away.
Well, Dottie, it was an impressive display early for Martinez.
It certainly was. You notice her third round against Virginia Grimes, a former USGA champion, went out in 30. Virginia shot 36 and was never in the ballgame. Of course, a well-played semifinal against Whitaker yesterday with 4 and 3 to today.
And now after yet another great iron, this for birdie to go 6 up.
From a mere 3 feet away to go 6 up.
Seen an awful lot of short birdie putts by Morgan Pressel. Great ball striking.
Well, let's take you to the back nine of the opening 18 at the 10th, the par 5. The third shot for Martinez.
You know, a whole location that the players are going to try to challenge. It's in a bit of a valley, but
she puts it in the water. You think big advantage Pressel, but look what happened.
Well, she comes out of this a little quickly, follows her opponent right into the hazard.
So they both make sevens. They both have the hole. Now at the par 3 12.
Par 3 playing over 200 yards in 2 shots.
And now Pressel for a half.
Again, not quite as easy as Morgan may have thought at that point.
Now Maru missed the green here at 13 and played this third.
This just came out like a rocket.
Her opponent in very close in 2, and she would lose that hole. And then problems up ahead for par 5 16.
That paid the penalty for an errant tee shot, even though it was only errant by a couple of yards, virtually an unplayable lie.
Now this was Pressel's third at the same hole, and once again, Dottie stone dead with her shot.
Fantastic wedge play.
Now she is 2 up at this point, has this long putt for birdie, and with that, you almost sense a huge swing of momentum going toward Morgan Pressel.
Maru Martinez with an opportunity here to kind of go to the afternoon, maybe a little bit of momentum, dashed quickly.
And it is a huge advantage for Morgan Pressel. That's 5 consecutive wins. Here she is at the tee at the third, now 6 up.
Tough hole. Hazard runs up the entire right-hand side, little left-to-right movement, and another just solidly struck drive down the left center.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice shot.
We saw how Maru Martinez made it here, and Dottie, there were some tough matches in Morgan's draw.
There were 2 standing out. First against Mina Harrogate, probably the best played match in the entire draw. Both players posting 67 through 18 holes, and then was well tested yesterday by Angela Park.
Go, 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 go.
Wisely to the left of the flagstick, though.
Smart play.
Well, it has been impressive display of shot making by Morgan Pressel. Now 6 up in this championship match. All right, now Pressel for birdie. Okay.
I would think, Daddy, that might be the hardest thing to adjust to this afternoon is the speed of the greens. With the rain that fell, they are surely going to be a bit slower.
Oh, certainly, and be mindful that these greens have probably not been cut at all since probably 6 o'clock this morning, maybe a little bit later, but players have been, first tee time was at 8.
And the afternoon match was set to begin at 1 o'clock, but as David mentioned, as has Kay, there was a 50-minute delay. It was a kind of a freak storm at the conclusion of the morning 18, and it delayed the start of this afternoon's round, but fortunately, the golf course is in such superb shape that they knew they could get the players right out here. Had about a quarter of an inch of rain in a very short time.
Yeah, the greens drained incredibly quickly for all we had come down in that short period of time. And again, 0.8 of an inch of rain overnight last night, so the golf course has held up beautifully.
All right, this was far.
Scratching and clawing and hanging on.
You needed that in the worst way.
Julio, can you keep going? You're right on their line. Thank you very much.
And back on the green, Morgan Pressel for the half.
And certainly outside the gimme range, this is in about the 2.5-foot range.
Putting has been tremendous.
Pressel 4, Martinez 4, Pressel is 6 up.
Dottie, what I like about Morgan is that she is very sure of herself and her game. She does not use a caddy to line her up, and she reads her own putts.
Well, Morgan will tell you how she feels about just about everything there is.
This third just inside 75 yards.
Part of the game she's been
Go.
so good
Go.
at this week.
Go! Go!
Yeah, watch her play, Dottie. And she looks like she's 17 going on 30 as a player.
Yes, absolutely. The way she has matured over the last 6 months to a year especially has been really amazing.
So she knows how to do this.
Just needs a little bit more speed. She just looks tired.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she knew when she hit it, she has conceded the hole. So now Morgan Pressel, 7 up in this impressive march to this championship. She came here as the #1 ranked player in women's amateur golf, and the outcome, no surprise.
It has, Steve. She hit the ball into the hazard not once, but twice yesterday in conceding this hole to Angela Park.
And she lost it this morning with a 3-putt, Dottie.
Must just not set up very well for her eye. But good solid shot there.
To think, I want to get to 8 up. When I get to 8 up, I want to get to 9 up. The minute you contemplate what's happening, things could turn around.
Yeah, you certainly don't even let your mind wander to, wow, if I can do this, I will be the U.S. Women's Amateur Champion. Don't even go there.
She has the luxury of being able to play more conservatively, but mentally she has to stay very strong.
Exactly, Kay.
Well, this again for par. And David Fay, I go back to the men's amateur final, a big margin involving Hal Sutton at the Country Club of North Carolina, I believe.
Oh, that's right. And he beat Bob Lewis.
Our Walker Cup captain.
Our Walker Cup captain. And I believe the margin was 9-8.
And Walker Cup next week at the venerable old Chicago Golf Club.
One of the 5 founding members of the USGA. It should be a great match. It would be nice if we won one. We haven't won since 1997.
Irish is a younger team this year.
Yeah.
But only one player with Walker Cup experience, that being Lee Williams, who played at Ganton a couple of years ago. Now, to things in the present, this for par. Dottie, almost painful to watch.
It is, because it's happened so quickly. Such a good match through 13, 14 holes of the opening 18.
Well, the rain continues to fall, and if I can be optimistic, at least it's warm out here and there is no wind. If it doesn't rain much harder than this, it's doable. And that was a beautiful drive down the left center.
All right, Kay, Morgan second.
This is a gripped 11 wood from 172 yards. Beautiful swing.
One of her favorite clubs in the bag.
This is impressive stuff. This for birdie.
They mentioned qualifying. Maru Martinez, it may be not a good feel about potentially losing this championship match, but she will have the added bonus of being exempt into the U.S. Women's Open.
And despite the weather conditions, she is hanging in there. She just cannot get it going right now, though.
Well, it is Morgan Pressel, complete domination here. She is 9 up in this 36-hole championship match.
122 yards. Needs to carry this 118 on line of the flagstick to get over the bunker.
Oh!
Ooh.
Wet flyer? I don't know. Does that happen with the ball on a tee?
I think she's just pumped up and... Ooh. Okay, anything here?
Well, this is just a nasty lie. Very tough shot. No green to work with. Go! Oh, well executed. Could not have done too much better than that.
Well, a classy shot there, Kay.
Well, Dottie, she only lost 3 holes in the first 18, and this hole, as Steve Melnick mentioned, was one of them.
This shot, much like Morgan played yesterday at the 12th, grip down a little bit for a little more leverage. Important to keep the club head moving. You don't hit at the ball, you hit through it.
You know, she really doesn't get a chance to work on a short game. You know, we're hitting all these fairways and greens. It's not like you get a chance to work on all that stuff.
Well, we likened it to Nicklaus in his heyday, 60s, 70s, where, why? You know, I hit 16 greens around, and I'm going for par 5s and 2. Maybe that's where I need my short game practice.
But when she's had to hit a great shot, remember the great bunker shot she hit on 17?
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. She has had the shots when she needed the most.
She's showing quite a complete game for 17 years old.
It's almost like with some of these kids, and I use that term loosely as well, you throw the number away. Because it just, well, it doesn't match up. Certainly, Kay, when we were playing golf at this level, it's not even close right now.
Pressel is in complete command not only of this match, but of her game.
That is world class. Fantastic.
I would have bet a lot of money that she would not have made a par from that lie.
Kay, you said it a moment ago, this was Martinez, one of her few highlights earlier this morning when she hit it close here for birdie, and has this to win a hole. It'll be her first winning hole since the 12th hole this morning.
Ironically, another par 3.
And she chipped in on 12 for a win.
She did. Nicely done. Good for her for keeping her chin up. She had to work hard for it.
Yeah, she thought she'd probably have a walkover. It is Championship Sunday here at the U.S. Women's Amateur. It is all Morgan Pressel. It is conceded. The margin now 9 as Morgan Pressel rolls on the 2005 U.S. Women's Amateur.
Really set the tone. Never recovered.
Short par 4, 355 yards. And that's certainly a mishit for Morgan, but just about 2 paces off the fairway, Dottie.
Well, mark down the time, Kate. She finally missed a fairway.
Yes, first one all day. Well, a strong breeze has suddenly picked up. In her face, nasty lie, 151 to the hole.
Fly. Caught it hard.
Well, one of the few mistakes.
Well, this golf course suddenly playing a bit tougher, and suddenly she realizes so much tougher from the rough. She can hit it beyond the hole location and utilize the backstop, the slope behind the hole.
Yeah, like you said, came out a little speedy. That'll be a tough putt.
That is her first blemish relative to par since they both made double bogeys on the 10th hole this morning when they both found the water with their thirds.
Well, we're going to see a little more of Maru's good putting stroke, I do believe. I'm a little surprised, but not horribly surprised.
Well, they say never give a putt for a win, but this certainly is would be in the leather.
But we've seen putts of this length missed this week. Not that
one. All right. A little bounce in her step there. They head to the 28th hole.
Difference was this morning she only had a 1-up lead, as her opponent played almost equally as well.
No, she cannot. That would be that classic match play penalty. That would be a major penalty, loss of hole. Of course, there's mud on the ball, too, and she can't clean that either.
And every amateur in the country would step on it and flatten it out and then play the shot.
Well, you can do it afterwards.
You're encouraged to do it afterwards.
Yes.
Okay. Stay with it. Get me 38 at least out of it.
Great conversation between her and her caddy. Little wind helping right at the moment. Needs to carry at 126 to get on the putting surface. That might have been 126 and a half.
First time we have not seen a divot by Morgan Pressel in quite some time.
Well, there have been a who's who list of champions here and a very impressive group of runners-up. Patty Berg, Patty Sheehan, Annika Sorenstam. We chronicled her, and she lost her match to Vicky in the 92 Amateur at Kemper Lakes.
Can't say enough about Patty Berg and the impact she's had on not only women's golf, but golf in general. What a great ambassador.
She was the best ambassador at a time when the game needed it most. One of the founders of the LPGA, and when they were a small band of players who kind of traveled together around the country for not a lot of money.
Ran their own tournaments, set their own golf courses, divvied up what little money there was on Sunday nights before they left town.
David, let's go back to the tee shot of Morgan Pressel here. We talked about the pitch mark behind the ball. Finish up on your thought on that.
Well, folks might say, well, why can't I stomp it down? Well, the rule is very specific. You can't improve the area of your intended swing, the backswing. So sometimes it's subjective. There was a case a few years ago, I forget the PGA Tour player in Washington, where he was penalized for doing exactly that. And there was a question, was it really in his line of play? It's subjective, but the moral is, don't touch it until afterwards.
When in doubt, don't.
Play the course as it lies.
Here it is right here, David.
Here it is. There, you can see. And that clearly would be on the area of her intended swing. She's going to draw it back. And you know, there are three basic principles of golf. Play the ball as it lies, play the course as you find it, and when it's impossible to do either, do what's fair.
Play fast.
Really well, that would be the fourth principle, and amen to that.
All right, David, same situation. She's just off the putting green here.
Well, I don't know where the flagstick is, but here's the case. That's the bent transition. She is off the putting green, therefore she's not entitled to clean it, and she is not entitled to repair that pitch mark until after she plays, because clearly that would probably be on her backswing.
Well, and at times, David, that can definitely dictate whether you chip or putt the golf ball from that position.
Exactly. If that pitch mark were in front of the ball, then well, she would be chipping it, I would imagine.
Almost like the old Stymie rule, but not quite.
Yeah, same principle.
All right. Maru Martinez, long putt for birdie. Otherwise, if both players two putt, Morgan Pressel will be dorming.
She's got a very difficult putt here. Got to come up over this mound. It's a good 35 feet.
Been very impressed with the way she has controlled the speed of her putts all week long.
I think that's just due to these greens slowing down with the rain.
All right, Dottie, a chance for Morgan here to close out a very impressive week here. But yet her amateur summer is not over. She's going to play next week at Pinehurst, right?
She does. She'll be the defending champion at the Women's North-South. Another huge tournament on the amateur tour, so to speak.
But this for the match and the championship.
Oh, what a good putt. And one more chance for Morgan, but without the ball in her hand. Maru must make this putt to extend the match and make Morgan wait a little longer to be crowned champion.
She has conceded Pressel's putt, so she has to make this putt to extend the match.
I think Maru is very, very aware of that. She looked up at the sky. It's almost like somebody help me here.
Runner-up at U.S. Women's Open, unexpected loser at the girls' junior in the third round. Maybe this could sort of wipe the disappointment away with this championship.
Morgan did say that the loss at the girls' junior was more of a sting than the loss at the Women's Open. Expectations certainly higher.
That is it. Morgan Pressel is the winner of the 105th United States Women's Amateur, and she does so in impressive style as she soundly defeats Maru Martinez here in the finals.
What a summer for Morgan Pressel.
She came here as the prohibitive favorite, played 2 solid rounds in the 36-hole stroke play qualifier, and Dottie, it was an impressive run to the finish.
Really only tested hard in one match. Certainly Angela Park got her full attention yesterday, but the 19th hole win in the second round was enormous.
Well, she is a very classy young lady who represents the game well. She will be a great champion.
See her grandparents, Herb and Evelyn Crickstein. great pedigree in that family. Uncle Aaron, once the 6th ranked tennis professional in the country, in the world.
Well, our champion has been crowned, and it is an impressive win. Morgan Pressel, a 9-8 winner over Maru Martinez.
It is a pleasure, a very big pleasure for me to present the 2005 United States Women's Amateur Champion, Morgan Pressel.
Morgan, you are holding your first USGA championship. Describe this moment, describe this feeling.
I'm so excited. I played really well all week and all the way down to the end, so it was a great week for me.
You stayed so stoic, so poised throughout the week, even when you hold out shots like the one you did here at the 10th. I mean, I got to think that the pressure is now off.
Yeah, it's off a little bit. And the week's over. I mean, I obviously got another tournament next week, but it's a great end to a wonderful week, so I'm very excited.
You've had such an up and down of emotions. You finished runner-up at the Women's Open. You had a heartfelt loss at the Girls Junior. Now you've done it. You've gotten what you wanted for so long. Your 3rd Women's Amateur Championship, and you've won it. Can you believe it? Describe the pressure out there today.
Not really. It's hard to believe. I mean, not just today, but all week. I mean, I came inches from losing the other day to Mina, and I mean, it's in match play anything can happen, and it's such a tough tournament to win. So I'm really proud of myself. So.
When we started this day, it was very tight. The first 9 was quite back and forth. Then things turned around at the 16th, and you would go on to, I think, win 8 of the next 9 or 10 holes. Describe that change in momentum.
Well, at the very end of the morning, she had a couple bad shots and kind of let me sneak in there a little bit and get a 4-up lead after the front 18, and I just kept trying to put the pressure on and came out firing the bat on the second 18 or second 11. So
I remember when I won my first, I was up after the first 18, and I was extremely nervous during the lunch break. What was that hour and a half, or actually even more with the rain delay, like for you?
It wasn't that bad. I wasn't that nervous. I was just trying to, I was waiting to go back out and practice again, and I wasn't that nervous, so it wasn't that bad.
Can you believe your name is on this trophy with names like Zaharias and Daniel?
It's unbelievable. It's really an unbelievable feeling. I'm so excited. So.
I know there's a few people you'd like to thank. Most importantly, probably the 2 people most close to your heart. They're here today, your grandma and your grandpa.
Oh, yeah, they're wonderful. They've done so much for me in my whole life, and not just in golf, but in everything. And they mean so much to me.
Well, congratulations. You were the 105th U.S. Amateur Champion, Morgan Pressel. Well done.
Hold it up. Hold it up. Hoist it up. Hold it up. Hoist it up. Come on.
Yeah.
Keep it up.